The dictionary defines frustration as the feeling of being upset or annoyed because of an inability to change or achieve something. And my response to that is, well, welcome to the world of caregiving. I believe there are 3 issues that are most frustrating to caregivers, and all 3 relate to our inability to change, control, or achieve something. We get frustrated because we will never be able to control the disease, the progression, or the impact it's going to have on our person. We get frustrated and agitated and irritated because we cannot control other people's behavior. Wouldn't it be just absolutely amazing if we could? And a lot simpler, I think. But the truth is, we will never be able to control the behavior of our care receivers, our family members, our friends, and then on top of that, we get frustrated with the medical system because we have to become advocates for our person and experts on issues for which we have no prior knowledge or training at a time when the healthcare system is overwhelmed, understaffed, and doctors and nurses are overworked and close to burnout. So that means it can take months for us to get scheduled for important tests and procedures, which puts us in a position of trying to figure out how to provide care for our care receivers and keep them safe. And it can feel like sometimes that we're just running around in a maze that is full of blind alleys and no exits. So how do you deal with all of this? How do you keep your frustration from turning into rage? Well, of course, the first step is to become aware of the people and the issues and events that are causing you to feel frustrated. Write these things down. The second step is acceptance. And as caregivers, we need to accept that our feelings of agitation will only increase if we continually try to change, manage, or control situations and solve problems that cannot be fixed. So, that takes us to step 3, which is taking action. And I'm going to offer some suggestions that have worked for other people. When someone is living with Alzheimer's or another cognitive impairment, their behavior is going to surprise, confound, and upset you. So if you can accept that the disease is in charge and you blame the disease rather than the person, it can relieve a lot of stress. Family members can actually be a huge source of stress. I will say that I have known 2 families in which every sibling contributed equally to the care of their parents, and there were no issues unsettling the estate. That's highly unusual, but I do know it can happen because I've seen it twice. Now, you may be dealing with power struggles, sibling rivalries that go way back, and if you have family members who like to criticize but not necessarily contribute, you might consider taking some of the following action steps. When you feel agitated and angry, give yourself a timeout. Just say something like, I am feeling really frustrated and upset right now, and I'm just going to take a few minutes. I'm going to give myself a timeout and then walk away. Just give yourself a little time to breathe and to think about how you want to respond. And while you are giving yourself this time out, think about setting some new boundaries. You are a caregiver. You are not anybody's servant. So decide what you are willing to do and what things you will not or cannot do. And I believe once you decide to draw the line in the sand over which you will never allow anyone else to cross, other people will be a lot less likely to try to push you into doing something that you don't want to do or making you feel guilty because you said no. Being a part of a caregiver support group is also a tremendous help because you can vent and know that other people are having similar experiences, and you'll understand that you're not a bad person for feeling the way you do. You could also call a friend and vent, but please be selective because you only want to talk to people who will support you and not criticize you, because you do not need anybody telling you how you should or shouldn't feel at this point. You just need people who will lift you up. And then finally, and this is the most important thing, make your own self-care a priority. If you are having physical problems, make an appointment with a doctor. If you are feeling like you are on the edge emotionally, set an appointment with a counselor or talk to your clergy. And then give yourself permission to have a little bit of fun. Get a massage, book a pedicure or a manicure, splurge on a nice dinner. If at all possible, get outside, get some exercise. Now, here's the bottom line. You may be totally 100% committed to giving the highest level and love and care humanly possible. But even if you give all of your heart and every single ounce of your energy, you are just one person. And there are limits to how much stress, how little sleep, and how many of your own needs you can sacrifice before you become physically exhausted and emotionally depleted. If you reach a point of caregiver burnout, you could start to feel like you no longer have the ability to feel empathy or to care. So please ask for and accept help. Self-care is not selfish. It's really the key to survival for you and for your care receiver.